Alright, here is the video of my brand new ViperTech M5. A little quick overview of my collection here. Here is my 2012 Mark 18 Mod 0. Here is my 2011 m16a4 A1. And that is what used to be your Iron Airsoft 416 lower. There's some miscellaneous parts. There's Z parts. There's a magnet attached to the Z parts outer barrel for the VFC 416. This is excuse me. This is the Prometheus 263mm inner barrel right here. This is a prime steel extension, and I have drilled and tapped these holes so it lined up with the ViperTech hop-up right here. ViperTech hop-up, which is not necessary anymore because I have the AMA Show Tops steel barrel extensions. I still would have to fabricate a barrel spacer somehow for the VFC. But anyways, that's not what I'm here to tell you about. I'm here to tell you about the ViperTech M5. So immediately what I noticed is the trademarks. It is really well, I guess, engraved. The only thing that really bothers me is this m16a4. Like, why can't they use the same 6 over here? Why can't they use the same A as this A? Or the M as this M? They had to go out and get this weird, bubbly m16a4. Otherwise, everything else is fine. As you can tell, I mentioned this several times before. The selector is a little shorter than normal. My Mod 0, Mark 18 Mod 0, also had the shorter selector, but I did purchase a brand new selector from eHobby, and just so I could have the length. Consequently, because I did that, now there is a indicator on the opposite side, and of course the Inokatsu has the appropriate length. So this is the 3-round burst edition, so it will do the 3 rounds. Now the receiver here, if you could tell, I'm going to do a quick little overview of the receiver. There's this little sparkly finish on this receiver on my 2012 Mark 18. The M5 is quite a bit flatter. It's actually a lot flatter. It still has a little bit of residue of that sparkly tone or whatever, but it actually gives it much more of a thicker, flatter black finish. In contrast to the Inokatsu, which actually doesn't have that sparkly finish. The color, I'd say, the Viper is more accurate, but the finish, I'd say, the Inno is more accurate. But then again, you know, that's just getting really picky here. One thing I was really pleasantly surprised was the forge line is almost non-existent contrast to the 2012 Viper. And of course, the famous Inokatsu forge line right there. Alright, this flash hider was a pain to get off. It does come with a 14mm thread, so that means it will fit airsoft flash hiders. I do have a 12mm on order, which I am not excited about to install because I would have to remove this adapter, and the adapter is most likely Loctited or super glued or something ridiculous, and which means I have to remove the inner barrel or the outer barrel to get to it. So in order to do that, I have to get these two pins out, the tapered pins. And if you can see my last attempt here at the tapered pins, I nearly destroyed it, and I just gave up. So I never removed this. I did put the Inokatsu, my 2009 Inokatsu RAS on here and remove the RIS, the ViperTech RIS, mainly because I think the ViperTech is slightly smaller. The rails are a little bit smaller because I had a lot of play in when I was mounting the flashlight and the and my my PEC 2 unit. So so I swapped it out with the Inokatsus, and one thing that Viper does have is the rails are also shiny too and sparkly, while the Inokatsus are flatter. But anyways, again, that is definitely a preference. Some of you may remember that I was on the fence of getting a bomber, with the FN trademarks, but eventually the ViperTech internals won me out. And of course, the first thing I did, full travel bolt. Yay. So that's what it is. I'm probably gonna stick some kind of ACOG K and probably like a KC rear flip up sight with a PEC 15 up top, and maybe like a flashlight. Nothing too fancy. I'm really a big fan of factory looks. One thing that I like also about this upper receiver is this nice little keyhole that kind of reminds me of my real M4 upper receiver. But that's it. I will do a shooting test in the next video, or at least a demo of the 3-round burst.